now the last part of hemolytic anemia, that is thalassemia and immune hemolytic anemia. Okay, so already I told you how the hemoglobin is being formed. Again, recap of it. In the adult, it is alpha, 2 alpha chains and beta chains. And before that is formed in the bone marrow. That is the site of erythropoiesis. And before that, during fetal life and till 18 months of age, this till 18 months, and it is slowly decreasing after 6 months of age. To till 18 months, it comes to normal. That is alpha, and gamma, that is the fetal hemoglobin. And in the fetal life, bone marrow, though it starts erythropoiesis, the liver and spleen also do their job. And before that, it is the yolk sac. And before the alpha chain forms, it is the epsilon and the delta. Both are there. So we have different types of chains, different areas. So this is very important to know thalassemia. See here, this is during the embryonic life. This is the fetal life and the adult life. In the embryonic life, it is hemoglobin go over 1, O10 and go over 2. So don't remember all this. But see that it is the delta and the epsilon that is being present, and that delta is being replaced by alpha and then epsilon finally. So there are many switchovers. Okay, and in the fetal life it is the alpha and the gamma, and in the adult life, what are the hemoglobins that is present is mainly the alpha HbA, that is alpha 2 and beta 2. 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, plus little bit of hemoglobin A2 less than 3.5%, that contains alpha 2 and delta 2. So from where does this come? This is from this, from here somewhere this alpha chain is present and this delta is being present, like that. Then you have this fetal hemoglobin. This is also present to a certain extent, less than 0.8 or 1%. So alpha 2 and gamma 2 also present in a very minute amount. So finally, this should be present. In case this A is deficient, we get thalassemia. So where does this alpha, which is the gene that codes for alpha chain? That is the alpha gene. And how many alpha genes are there? For one alpha chain, there are 2 genes that I told you when I took sickle cell anemia itself. And where is that gene present, alpha gene? Chromosome 16. So you have to remember chromosome 16, 2 alpha genes coding for 1 alpha chain. Okay. Whereas for beta,
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt.
not able to hear me? Not able to hear?
Yes, ma'am. The voice is breaking, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt.
Voice is okay. Okay. My
Yeah. Now it's clear, ma'am.
okay. Okay. My
Thank you
computer is
so much.
shaking. Okay. So whenever there is some disturbance, you tell me. So when this is the which chromosome is this? That day I told you 11. So here beta, 1 beta gene is coding for 1 beta chain. This is very important. 2 alpha genes coding for 1 alpha chain, but here 1 beta chain is coding for 1 beta chain. and these form the normal adult hemoglobin. So now the objectives are: what is thalassemia, clinical and genetic classification, pathogenesis and hematologic features. So already we saw this classification. So where does thalassemia stand? It is intracorpuscular defect, abnormality in the RBC interior, that is within the hemoglobin, hemoglobinopathy, and it is a hereditary disorder. Hereditary disorder. So intracorpuscular defect, remember, inherited genetic defect, hemoglobin disorder. It is a hemoglobinopathy. So deficient globin synthesis, and it is quantitative. This already I told you. And when this hemoglobin is structurally deficient or qualitative disorder, it is a sickle cell anemia. Already we studied about sickle cell anemia. So now the definition. The definitions in Robbins are fantastic. As I told you, you read the definition, you study, not read. Then you can write most of it. So it is a heterogeneous group of disorder. You cannot say this is that. There are various types. That is what they mean by heterogeneous. It is a group of disorders. How does it being caused? Inherited. So from parent to offspring. Mutation. So some mutation somewhere happening genetic that increase the synthesis of. So the synthesis quantity is reduced, either alpha globin or beta globin. So it can be in the alpha chain or in the beta chain. That compose adult hemoglobin, all 2 alpha and 2 beta, leading to, so what does it cause? Anemia. So anemia, of course, tissue hypoxia, as well as red cell hemolysis. Because this globin is deficient, the red cells are not good. It is related to imbalance in the globin chain synthesis. This hemolysis is due to imbalance in the globin chain. Alpha and beta should be perfect. So one is deficient, the other is more, there is imbalance. So you understood? It is a group of disorder due to inherited mutation and reduced synthesis of either alpha or beta. So hemoglobin, adult hemoglobin is less. That causes anemia, hypoxia, as well as there is hemolysis due to imbalance in globin synthesis. Now, everything, etiology, pathogenesis, and what will happen, everything is present in this definition. So the types are alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia, as we said, alpha globin or beta globin. So alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia. And now beta thalassemias, we are more worried. So we'll talk about that first. Inherited disorder caused by mutation that decreased the synthesis of beta globin chain. It had been called as Cooley's anemia, and this person is Thomas B. Cooley. He only found, he's a major person who worked on that. Initially, they say when the child becomes morbid, they put them in the sack or they throw them in some outskirts. All those were happening. Finally, he found out that is due to thalassemia. That condition is called as thalassemia. They were not able to find out what it is due to, and it was a wastebasket. And he found out that it is thalassemia. So what does thalassemia mean? Emia is something to do with the blood, and thala, because it was most common in Mediterranean region, which is surrounded by sea, it is called as thalassemia. So likewise, all these places, the red zones, and have more, more than 90% is this violet zone, all these areas. That epidemiology you read from the book. And what are the mutations? We have found more than 200 mutations worldwide. And which is the chromosome? Beta 11. Okay. And this is the
Very sorry to
area.
interrupt. Breaking, ma'am.
Huh?
Ma'am, very
Pardon?
sorry. Very sorry to interrupt again. It's breaking, ma'am. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, okay. Now
Sorry,
it's
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's very. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so
So
much.
this 11 chromosome, short arm or long arm? Short arm. Okay. 28 mutations are found in India. So what are these mutations due to? There is the normal B chain. One beta globin chain is from father, another one is from mother. So a person should have beta, two beta should be there. So when everything is absent, we call it beta naught. When some amount of beta globin synthesis is present, we call it beta plus. Okay. So you see here, the beta cal minor or trait, maybe one chain is beta, this is normal, and this is deficient one, but some amount is present, like 50%, 60%, like that. So beta plus, and this is one chain is normal, but the other one doesn't have it. It is beta. Here both in both chains are present, but deficient. Beta plus, beta plus. Here it is present, but similar to that, but clinically this will behave like cal minor. And nature is beta naught, complete, both chains. Father is also, from father also 0, mother also 0. Okay. So both have been carriers, both have been either any one of this. So what is that due to? Beta naught is due to failure of beta globin synthesis. There is a disruption in the RNA splice junction. So from the DNA, the RNA is being formed. When there is splicing, there is disruption, aberrant RNA splicing. Also, the beta naught is caused by interruption in the translation of beta globin RNA processing. You must be knowing all these words already in general pathology, RNA splice junction, RNA processing, all that. So failure of beta globin synthesis. So beta naught is due to aberrant RNA splicing, or there is some problem in RNA processing. Okay. And beta plus is due to new RNA splice junction at an abnormal position, or there is some in the promoter region, there is some mutation. Okay. So there must be some amount of beta globin, but not fully, not 100%. So these are the common mutations in India. Mutations and deletion. IDS1 5GC, 619 BP deletion, IDS1 GT, and CD8, CD41, 15GA. All these are common mutations in India. And it varies from region to region also. And this is the commonest mutation throughout India. IDS15GC in east, west, north, south, everywhere it is more common, but not so in immigrants. In immigrants, the 619 BP deletion is more common. Of course, this we discussed in sickle cell also. Same way it is of autosomal recessive. So there is a so one is a carrier, other is a normal. Then all the children can be either normal or minor or trait. We call it all heterozygous. Heterozygous zygotes, minor, trait. Everything carries the same meaning. Then, if both are carriers, there is a chance of thalassemia major. Okay, there is a chance of thalassemia major. That these are the people we are worried about. So when this happens, mainly in consanguineous marriages. Okay, so this carrier detection, prenatal diagnosis plays a very, very important role to prevent these children. Why should we prevent these children? Because morbidity, mortality, economic strain, all this is very high with these children. They don't live up to teenage, and they are transfusion dependent and they suffer a lot. Okay, so detection of these people and at fetal life, I told you in sickle cell anemia itself, amniocentesis and chorionic villus biopsy, umbilical cord blood testing, and you give option to the parents. Your child is going to be like this. Do you want or not? Counseling. Okay. That is very, very important. So, pathogenesis, uh, anemia. What are the two causes? So, here the red blood cell that contains the heme portion and the globin portion. And the globin portion is alpha chain and beta chain. Either if we get heme deficiency, we get microcytic hypochromic anemia. That is iron deficiency anemia. If we get globin deficiency, either beta globin or alpha chain, then it is thalassemia. There also you get microcytic hypochromic anemia because the hemoglobin is deficient, either with heme or with globin. So reduced hemoglobin A leads to underhemoglobinized RBC. So microcytic hypochromic anemia. That is the reason, one reason. Second is reduced RBC survival. This RBC which is deficient in either alpha chain or beta chain. Now we are dealing with beta thalassemia. So beta thalassemia, this RBC is deficient in beta globin. So the survival of RBC is reduced few days. So because of that, also anemia. Second reason. So the net result here is oxygen transport is reduced. So what happens? Erythropoietin, erythroid hyperplasia, all those things we are coming to. And then imbalance in both states. So beta is deficient. So all excess, what will the alpha chain, how does it combine with beta when beta is deficient? It cannot. So this alpha chain tends to precipitate. Those RBCs are ineffective erythropoiesis. And because all hemolytic anemias, you have iron overload because excess of iron is liberated from the hemoglobin also by transfusion. This is in Robbins. You have to mug up somehow, but it's very easy when you understand. This is a normal RBC. This is a erythroblast. This is happening in the marrow. So it is HbA, R2 2 alpha chains, 2 beta chains. So from this normal erythroblast, you get normal RBC, normocytic, normochromic RBC with 120 days lifespan. But here in thalassemia, there is reduced beta globin synthesis. So alpha globin is in excess. It is not produced more. It is a relative excess. It is there is no beta globin to join with that. So it is a relative excess. So this RBC, abnormal erythroblast, the alpha globin has no beta chain to unite with, so all these will aggregate or precipitate. And this amount of hemoglobin is the remaining HbA, whatever it is present. So this is an abnormal erythroblast. So what happens? Most of them die in bone marrow because of these aggregates and the ineffective. It is ineffective erythropoiesis. Though these RBCs are produced, they are not good, so it is ineffective. They die in the marrow. And some of the cells leave the marrow and goes to the peripheral blood. They are all microcytic hypochromic containing this alpha globin aggregate. So what happens when it goes to our spleen? The splenic macrophages can't sit quiet. They will eat up these areas. They eat up these areas are the red cells as such. So what is this? Hemolytic anemia, is it intravascular or extravascular? One of you can tell. One of you, Anmol, can tell. Intravascular or extravascular? What is happening? Or you can put it in chat box. All are silent. Anirudh is also not there. Sweta, I know only 2 names. I must get all the names to call out.
Ma'am, don't know, ma'am.
Don't know. Spleen is taking up.
Extravascular, ma'am.
Very good. Extravascular hemolysis. So when hemolysis occurs like this, also because of the ineffective erythropoiesis, there sets in anemia. So all anemias, what does happen? Erythropoietin is increased. That will induce erythropoiesis. So marrow expands. So where is this happening? In the marrow, in the young child or fetus itself, this is happening. So the child will born with a big head, with increased tables, all that. Okay, this area, all that is more very broad. Also, because of the ineffective erythropoiesis, lot of iron is being liberated, and there is increased iron absorption and secondary hemochromatosis. So we have 3 types of thalassemia. Thalassemia minor or heterozygous, we said they are asymptomatic, but they are the culprits who will give it to their offspring. If their spouse is also a carrier, there is a chance of getting a Alzheimer's baby. Okay. And beta thal intermediate, already we saw all this. It is also severe, but not as severe as major. They look like either this or that, but clinically they require transfusion, but not frequent. But beta TAL major, they are severe and transfusion dependent. So what has happened to the RBC indices? So here you must see microcytic hypochromic. Hemoglobin reduced, MCV reduced, MCH reduced. And in iron deficiency anemia, I told you the RBC count is low. Okay, in thalassemia trait, RBC count is elevated. Okay, that is one difference between TAL trait and iron deficiency. RBC count is elevated. Second is this RDW is almost normal, but in iron deficiency, it is elevated. RDW is not here. So see here, the iron deficiency is very low. Then tartrate, it is mild anemia. Then RBC count is elevated here, and here it is very low. Also this RDW. Okay, so there is microcytic hypochromic anemia. And bone marrow, this is a peripheral smear, a microcytic hypochromic RBCs, and you get lot of target cells. Okay, lot of target cells. These are the target cells, like bullseye appearance. Okay, inside center there is a hemoglobin, and this should come to the next one, the NRBCs and the Hubble-Jolly bodies remnants. And this is the major. So in thalassemia, major is completely different. You get extremely microcytic hypochromic. A rim of hemoglobin is only present. Extreme microcytosis and hypochromasia, as well as lot of nucleated RBCs because of erythropoiesis and target cells. Then other anatomic changes are the baby will have a huge spleen extending up to the right fossa, and very huge spleen. And they have a because of increased erythropoiesis everywhere, hematopoiesis, because of that, see the inner table and the outer table, and it is called a screw appearance. Okay, in the X-ray, the head will be like that. There is expansion of the bone marrow, expanded marrow with erythropoiesis everywhere. Erythropoiesis. And because the iron is loaded, this is a Prussian blue stain for iron, blue color, Prussian blue pearls, Prussian blue stain. A lot of iron is being present. This is another differentiating feature between iron deficiency anemia and thalassemia. In thalassemia, you get a lot of iron stores, but in iron deficiency anemia, it is deficient, so you don't get any stores. And this is again spleen, liver, everything is black because of the iron overload. Iron is being deposited in the liver, in the spleen, etc. And again, like sickle cell anemia, we do hemoglobin electrophoresis. So in minor, you get HbA2. Okay, this is normal. You get HbA, but in thalassemia trait, you get HbA2. In major, you get HbF, fetal hemoglobin, HbF. And you can do globin chain electrophoresis also. That is more sensitive, and in that also you can see A2, A delta, whichever chain is present, everything will be shown in this. And this is the routinely performed one high performance liquid chromatography. So here you get A2 more than up to 3.5 is normal, but here it is 6.2. So this is a thalassemia minor. And here you get F. F is more, so it is thalassemia major. And mutation studies you can do when you know this region has this common mutation. Some studies have been found and they have some of the known mutation, you get cards like that. Okay, so with that mutations, when you know this area contains this mutations, you can do a reverse dot plot. When you don't know, a person is coming with thalassemia, but it's not from my endemic area. So in that, is not from the thalassemia hotspot. So you have to do a DNA sequencing to find out what is that mutation. And we do thalassemia gene therapy is being advocated, but hematopoietic stem cell transplant is being done and it is found to be very effective. So why the carrier state is important? For laboratory people, it is for differentiating iron deficiency. So second is for counseling, premarital testing, and antenatal testing. Okay, before marriage, you can test and find a spouse who is not a carrier, or during antenatal, when the mother, when the lady is pregnant, she can go ahead for testing because this is involved with social stigma. You cannot get a match. Tell negative match, I mean, negative. You cannot choose like that. So antenatal testing is the ideal one, and during the first antenatal checkup, it is advised. And if the then if the lady is a carrier, the spouse is tested, and if he is also a carrier, prenatal diagnosis using amniocentesis like sickle cell anemia, chorionic villus biopsy, or umbilical cord blood can be tested and give the option to continue pregnancy or not. And alpha thalassemia, it is caused by inherited deletion. It is not mutation. It is usually deletions that result in reduced or absent synthesis of alpha globin chain. So due to lack of adequate hemoglobin, excess of globin chain. Alpha chain is defective globin. So here this person is normal. 4 genes. For alpha, I told you each chain is coded by 2 genes. So there are 4 genes. And when there is one gene deletion, the person, though he is a carrier, is asymptomatic. And when there is 2 gene deletions, this way or this way, he has mild microcytic anemia. Still, he is asymptomatic, but he or she takes it to the offspring. And again, this is important. Spouse, if spouse is also involved, it's a danger. HPH disease, it is symptomatic. 3 genes are deleted, so only 1 gene is present. The patient will have a hemolytic and microcytic anemia, and splenomegaly may be present. If 4 genes are deleted, it is incompatible with life and it is called hydrops vitalis. Hydrops means what? The water logging in the body. Okay, like because of tissue hypoxia, edema in the fetus itself, like this. HB bot, gamma alone. In the fetal life, what are the genes that should be present? Alpha and gamma. So alpha is absent totally. Gamma alone will be present and that in the third semester or soon after birth. Otherwise, they have to give intrauterine transfusion and deliver a transfusion dependent baby. That is a remote possibility. And HPLC, usually we cannot detect alpha thalassemia. So here there may be a peak, but mutation studies had to be done. And neonatal anemia may be present in these children newborn when there is 2 gene deletion and hemoglobin can be less than 7 and reticulocyte count is more because of increased erythropoiesis. The anemia is microcytic hypochromic, target cells and fragmented cells may be present. And here you may see a HB bot here or here. And in HBH disease, you see golf ball kind of inclusions when you do these are HB inclusion. 3 gene deletion, only 1 gene is present. That time, these inclusions, this hemoglobin H inclusions are present in a reticulocyte state. And HPLC peak before 1 minute, you find HBH here or BART. So to summarize, TAL, target cells are present, Howell Jolly body remnants are present, anisocytosis. RBCs are not uniform, low MCV, microcytic hypochromic anemia, and the baby has this transfusion dependent. It's autosomal codominant disorder caused by mutation in alpha beta globin that reduce hemoglobin synthesis, resulting in microcytic hypochromic anemia. In beta thalassemia, unpaired alpha globin chain form aggregate that damage red cell precursors and further impair erythropoiesis. And the immune hemolytic anemia, only 5 slides are there. I'll finish that also. So describe the pathogenesis, mechanism, and classification of immune hemolytic anemia. What is immune? All of you know. Antibodies are developed in some individuals that recognize some antigen on the RBC membrane and bind to them and cause hemolytic anemia. It can be, it is otherwise called autoimmune hemolytic anemia. How does this antibodies develop? They develop just like that, spontaneously, or when they take some drug or chemical, or after infections, the antibodies may be developed. How do you classify? Depending on that type of antibody and how was it active, depending on that, you classify them into 3 types. One is warm antibody type. So this is the IgG antibody and it acts at 37 degrees centigrade. Our body temperature it acts. So it can be either primary where you don't have a cause or secondary like B-cell neoplasm, chronic lymphocytic leukemia or associated with autoimmune disorders like SLE or with some drugs like alpha-methyl-dopa, penicillin or quinine. Cold agglutinin type. This is a IgM antibody. This is IgG. This is IgM. And this is agglutinin. So it forms clumps. It acts below 37 degrees centigrade. Acute occurs in mycoplasma infection or infectious mononucleosis. Chronic, again B-cell lymphoid neoplasm, idiopathy. Why B-cell neoplasm? Because they are the ones which produce aberrant antibodies, B cells. And the third one is called hemolysin type. This causes hemolytic anemia. This is the IgG antibody, but active below 37 degrees centigrade. Okay. Warm is IgG, but active up at 37. Cold agglutinin is IgM, which is active below 37. This takes two of that. So it's a rare and it occurs in children after viral infection. Usually it binds to P blood group antigen and it causes a complement mediated lysis. So warm antibody, it is IgG or IgA. RBCs are coated by autoantibody. So in the spleen, those antigen antibody complex is being nibbled. So there is loss of cell membrane causing spherocytosis. So it is a differential diagnosis for hereditary spherocytosis. Chronic mild hemolytic anemia and moderate splenomegaly. So you do Coombs test. And what are the drugs? Antigenic drugs are penicillin, cephalosporin, quinidine. They bind to the RBC membrane and recognized by anti-drug antibodies. This antibody to drug membrane complex then it promotes phagocytosis. And so when a person comes with immune hemolytic anemia, you have to ask for drug history. Then these are the drugs which reduce the tolerance and antibodies to Rh antigen is being formed in them. This is cold immune hemolytic anemia due to IgM, as we said, and it occurs at warm areas. This IgM are released. When it reaches the cold areas like fingertips, etc., or the patient travels to a cold temperature like that, they come together, RBCs come together, and they cause the small blood vessels causing Raynaud phenomenon, sludging in the capillary. So here in this, the Coombs test is positive against complement. It occurs after mycoplasma or viral infection. So later comes the hemolytic disease of newborn. So this is very, maybe you may be knowing, it can occur against AB antigen or RH antigen. This is this antibody A when the mother is O and the child is either A or B. When the child is A blood group, more chance of getting because A antigen is more potent. And similar way, when the mother is Rh negative and the child is Rh positive, this hemolytic disease of newborn can occur. The antibody produces IgG. Anemia and jaundice can occur. So what happens is, from the fetus is Rh positive. These cells will go to the mother. So mother's immune system is sensitized and she produces IgG antibody. So when she is next to pregnancy, these sensitive antibodies, because it is IgG, they cross the placenta and attack the RBCs of this child. Okay, and this child will get anemia and jaundice. So what is Coombs serum? Coombs says it is a rabbit. Into the rabbit you inject human sera, so the rabbit will produce anti-human globulin. So this human serum contains globulin, albumin, globulin, fibrinogen. free proteins will be there in the plasma. This rabbit will produce anti-human globulin that is separated, and that is called Coombs serum. Okay. Then direct Coombs test is this patient has got RBC which has attached antibody. Okay. Sensitized cells. These antibodies are attached to some antigen in the RBC. So this, when you put this Coombs serum that contains anti-human immunoglobulin, this will go and attach here. Okay, they bind with these and form agglutination. You can do this by a Jelka test. Indirect is the RBCs are not there. The free antibodies are present. This we do for the fetus, and this we do in the mother to find out whether she has antibody. So this antibody is present in the mother's serum. So we add some RBC, not patient mothers or childs, some other RBC. So it binds. Now this is equivalent to this. Okay. So this has got one more step. That's all. So after this, you add the Coombs serum, then the thumbs will be formed. So this step we are making. This is free in the serum. This is attached. So this is present in the fetus. Child, you have to do this. This for the mother. So these are references are Robbins, and next class is on 20th, I think. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Anybody? No questions.
No, ma'am.
Okay. We'll stop with that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.